So it's your hands-on data guy again. Today we will be dealing in how to bring in data into the Microsoft Power BI. And I hope you enjoyed the last video. So if you enjoyed the last video, please go to the comment section and just say something there. We appreciate that. And don't forget to forward, to share, to subscribe to this channel so that we keep on giving you that thing that you need to excel around data. So data competence is what we're pushing for. Data literacy is what we will achieve. And so thank you for today. So we have two sections that is importing data from a CSV source into Power BI setup. And why the second part is going to be transforming that data. Remember when we spoke about the data analytics process, we mentioned sourcing the data, we mentioned cleaning and transforming the data. So those aspects are what we are dealing with now. Then gradually we'll move into more advanced part of Power BI and all that tools as well. So fasten your seatbelt and ready to explore with me. Thank you. Thank you. So stay tuned. Don't go
I'll proceed
nowhere.
by clicking on the icon on the desktop, the Power BI icon on the desktop, and wait for Power BI to load. It depends on how fast your system is. So it's advised to use a very fast system, or you just use a cloud hosting. So I go to import my data. I'm trying to import CSV, and I'll navigate and click on the text slash CSV and click on connect. So I'll go to the folder where I stored my data set. I have customer, product, and transaction. It's an e-commerce data set. So I'll start bringing them one by one into the setup. And so the first one I got in is the customer data set. So normally at this point, you can start transforming immediately on the fly to start transforming the data, but not necessarily. You can still just load it. Then later on, you use the um, edit to get it transformed. So mostly when you have a lot to import. So I load that and I go back. So you wait, it needs to load. Like I said, it's good that you have a good capacity on your laptop, a good memory, at least having like 16 gigabyte, minimum 8, but I think 16 gigabyte we do a lot. So you might have to be patient. So that's the table, just to see that it's in there and the data have been loaded. You can see the table from the right hand side. That's the data. Then that's the relationship, which we're going to go into in another video. We don't want to model up everything. Then go back to file to import the other data set. The same thing we do, we hit text CSV and we click on the product. Just the way we brought customer data set in, we're also going to bring the product. So let me just show you why it's like to transform it on the fly. So I've clicked on that, wait for it to load. So when we talk about transform, we talk about cleaning the data, changing the structure, or giving quality to the data. You can see, so those are the column header. You can filter and you can right click on that to see other functionalities you can perform on your data set. So this is your query editor. When you click on it to transform, you take it to your query editor, and from your query editor, that's where you can actually do the transformation. So I have my customer and product data sets in already. So I'm going for the third one. Click on get data, then back text slash CSV, then hit on transaction. I think transaction has more records in it, close to about 1 million plus records. Yeah. So you can see the separator is stated the comma. Mine is comma. There are different ones. There are column and there are also space, but mine is comma. You see the data types, and also you see the origin, the origin, that's the file origin. Then I click on load, let the data come in. So this one will take a while because it's huge. It's about 234 something. Yeah, exactly. MB. So you can see the three data set there.
We know that your quality of your analysis depends on the quality of data that you bring in. So that is why it's very important to take this data through your transformation, which is so involve cleaning. And we are going to do that, like we see. So there are three areas that I'm going to address this transformation from for errors, and we're going to also correct the data type. So these are important because if we have issues in these three areas, it's going to definitely affect the quality of our analysis. So that is why it's important. So we're going to use the query editor in Power BI to undo the cleaning and transforming of this data. Then part of that, we're also going to look at the data structure. It is important as a data analyst for you to understand the data structure in which the data came in from source, so that you will know how to work with that data. So that is what we're going to do. I hope you follow me. I hope you join me, and I hope we achieve something good. Thank you. See you.
So it's now time to transform our data. To confirm again, of course, like I said, you need to be familiar with the structure of your data. I've added some. I've added raw customer because we had to tweak the data to include those errors that we want to show. So we click on the edit query once again. It takes us to the edit query on the raw data, and it's good to familiarize yourself with your data structure. You need to know the format. You can see there is missing data, which I mentioned earlier that we're going to treat. I will show you how to take that off. There's also error. You can see customer ID shouldn't be having um, text with numbers. But you can see that the data type is ABC, and the ABC it's text. um Promoted this aspect, this side you can be able to undo and redo. That's the app. So let's go to click on that here. So I right click on it, then you see all the different operations that you can carry out to transforming your data. So the objective is to ensure that there is no error on our data, of good quality data. So I just changed the data type so you can see quickly the error popped out to show that that cannot work. So those you can't have two data types in one column. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on this column, but there are different ways to apply the transformation operations on it. So let's look at the data again from left to right. You can see majority of them are just text format. That's the file type. I mentioned file type. You need to take cognizance of that. Your last name, username. So most times you had to look at those few that are unique. So if you see, look, you could click on the transform menu, you see all the different operations at the top there. You can see them. Format, extract. We're going to be using that. Then after we will also, for you to look at, for us to test the quality of our data, we need to go to view and look and click on most of the menus, the tools on that under the view menu. Click on column quality and you will see, let me tap on that now. So you can see it helps you to display um, the quality of your data, and you can see the error showing. And for this one, you can see they show that there's a problem there. There's an empty field. That's why it's my 1% is supposed to be zero, and of course the value is supposed to be 100. So my objective here is to ensure that all field become valid 100%. So it means that there are errors because these records are quite large, on almost a million plus. You can't see everything with your eyes, so you need this tool to help you to analyze your fields and help you to correct it. So from there, we're going to get it fixed. So I'm changing the data type for this. So I'm changing it back. You can see that it has put the error, and just watch what will happen. Is the error is now obvious. You can see now that it's showing that there is invalid. You can see there's an error now on that. So that gives you, so it depends on how many errors. It might be thousands, but from a pass, just a single pass, everything will be fixed. If you So that's the transform menu, and those are the functions you can find on the transform menu. So when you click on the column distribution, it should show you the spread. So if there's error too, it should show you the spread on the particular column. So you can see it into the column. Then also we have so you can see these things. So if you have a unique field, like the customer ID is supposed to be a unique field, username a unique field, um, you expect that the these things supposed to be equal. So let's look at the column profile. So these are tools that helps us to analyze for and to help us to clear our data, to improve the quality of our data. Well, first, I mean, there's an error there. So for every column you select, it will give you a narration. So more like it's describing that particular column, empty string. So there's one empty string. So that detected. So if you have 10,000 empty strings, it's going to show all of them there. So you do a pass on ordinary on each of the column to ensure that everything is fine. At least they are all valid 100%. So that's for username and email. So, so just do a pass through. So there are some data, there are some column that are not supposed to be unique, not necessarily unique, like date of birth. You can have multiple born on the same day. Uh, so it's just showing you that on a particular day, more people were born on that day, according to the data here. So sometimes it's kind of hard to load, and sometimes you just have to uncheck some of this menu, mostly when we're done with using them, so that it doesn't slow down the loading or whatever. So now let us remove hold on, just hold on. So let us delete the empty field. You can see that there's null already from there, and just watch. You can see now it's valid is 100% because the error field has been taken away. There's no longer error. But on this other column, that's the first name and last name, you can still see that they are empty fields. So you see that you are filling up the empty field based on the use case of your priority. But in this case, we can just delete it because we can't use data that is not going to have any meaning. So I looked through. You can't see everything with the eyes, but of course, if you look at the top, you find out that everything is now valid. So we've removed all empty, we've corrected data types. So the data type for customer ID to be corrected. The query setting is checked, and to undo back the data type, so it goes back to the original text data type as against the decimal. So that's what I just did back. So like I said earlier, the apply steps you can use it to undo and redo by taking off stuff there. So most times you just need to keep on looking at your data, and when you find out all those parameters are okay, then you are good. So I'm trying to separate that particular field to show you why it is to split a column into different parts. So I just did that now. So I will try to rename a column so that you can see how to rename a column. Apart from giving the data quality, you can also work on the structure of the, like I mentioned, the data structure of the file. of your data set here. So I'll undo back because I don't need it that way. I'm just showing how these things work. So I can remove this field. I can push it left, push it right. I can change the position left, right. Depends on your priority, what you're doing at a particular point in time. So I'm undoing it by deleting that entry. So I can remove. So let us change it to uppercase. You can see that it has changed to uppercase. And I'll take it back by undoing it by deleting the entry in the applied steps. And it's back to normal. So that is changing the case of that column. So you can do as much. Yeah, you can see lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, clean length, convert the JSON XML. So I've reverted back to the original data type here to check again, just to see. You can see everything is perfect, 100%. They're all valid. So with this, I'm sure that my data quality is on point. So I can duplicate a particular column and I can push it to the different position. The way I'm doing, I'm going to take it to the front, then push it close to the first name. So I have two different first name. That's first name copy, and I'll go to move. So I'm going to move it close to first name. So just to see, just to have a glance. So I'm taking it right one step, so I can now undo it. I don't need it. It just to show us things that we can do in transforming our data set. So we spend time on our own just to get one of these things done. So good enough, the data came very clean, but at least we've been able to show one or two errors. So I also remove duplicates. You right click and remove duplicates. So it helps to clean the data. So when we're done, we close and we apply, and that is it.